Hello and welcome to another video. Today's video is going to be Pioneer. I'm Tandy, and we're going to be trying out some more NeoForm. Um, Over the last few weeks, we've really worked on trying to make the best version of NeoForm possible for Pioneer. Um, the original list of NeoForm with Hooting Mandrills and Tasker into Atraxa was pretty close to where we're still at now. You know, the mana base is a bit different. The spell suite is similar, but some really key changes that we'll go over in a minute. But I think it's important not only that we establish like a baseline of what the deck is supposed to be before we try to tune it a bunch, but also I think there's a lot of value in finding what is generically the best against a random field. You know, like people talk about stock versions of decks like it's a inherently negative thing. Like, oh yeah, I'm just playing stock Murktide or stock Jeskai Breach or whatever, right? But what they don't tell you is that the reason it's stock is because it's the best, right? Like it's the triedest and truest build of the archetype. And today we're going to be looking for that of Neoform. So original build was consider over Otherworldly Gaze. Because we're trading one for one so much, I thought the negative card economy of Otherworldly Gaze would be too bad on the resources. But what ended up happening is the consider was just kind of weak in general, and so I think cutting it is better than than anything else. But replacing it with Otherworldly Gaze is kind of just like replacing it with Faithless Looting. I know that we joked about that a little bit last week, but Otherworldly Gaze is essentially what we're calling it Faithless Hooting. So hopefully that catches on. So Otherworldly Gaze, you know, it's a self mill for 3, but then it puts itself in the graveyard too. So for 1 mana, you get 4 cards in the graveyard. It's not quite like, you know, Tome Scour or whatever. You know, there are effects that do that better. But this is the best one for our archetype by a lot. Um, Not only is the self mill super important, but finding very specific stuff um, is important as well. The fact that you can cast it twice means the first half can help find one piece, and then when you find that piece, the second half can help find a different piece. All while fueling the graveyard for Hooting Mandrills and Tasker. So really, a really nice card is Otherworldly Gaze, and we talked about it a lot in the initial construction of the deck, but we did not test it a lot. And if I had tested it, I think I would have found that it was one of the better cards in the deck. And at this point, I don't think I'm going to play less than 4. Now, I don't think Consider is an inherently bad card. I think it could be potentially good for the overall strategy, and I am considering trimming one of each of the following cards in order to make room for 2 considers. A Founding the Third Path, a Stubborn Denial, a Fatal Push, and a Land. These are all 4 cards types that I am considering cutting for one of those. The rest of the deck, you know, we've cleaned up the mana a little bit. I did not find that having 12 fast lands hurt me very often. I don't feel like when we get to turns 4, 5, 6, 7, or whatever, that we absolutely need to have a land enter the battlefield untapped that late. Sometimes it does screw us a little bit when we need to do founding tricks, like going to chapter 3 immediately, but it's pretty rare. And I found that just like I dealt myself too much damage with Thoughtseize, you know, 7 or 8 shock lands, 4 mana confluence. You know, I felt like we were just dealing ourselves too much damage in too many matchups. And so we're cleaning up a little bit. I still like the mana confluences because they're just a tri land. You know, they're just it might be the best land in the deck. We can regain a lot of our lost life from those lands via Traxa, but I don't want to be so far behind when I get the Atraxa down that even the lifelink might not save you. So that's kind of the gist behind the mana base. We're doing 3 Water Grave, 1 Overgrown Tomb. I've kind of balanced it so we have 16 blue, 16 black, and 14 green. We only have the 8 green cards, but it is occasionally necessary to have double green to go Mandrills into Neoform. We just have to be aware and do our best to make sure that we can have the requisite green mana. Now, if I find my second green source entering tap too often, what you're going to see me do, I think, more often in this league, now that we're aware of what's happening and how our mana base is going to affect things, our fourth source being our second green source might be an issue with it entering tapped. So we may cast Hooting Mandrills ahead of schedule more often. We may take different lines based on having to play Hooting Mandrills like a turn earlier, like keeping more Summoner Niles off Otherworldly Gaze, keeping more Summoner Niles off Strategic Planning so that we can play Mandrills, protect it for a turn, and then untap and then play the Neoform. Sideboard is mostly the same. We're doing Trophy over Abrupt Decay. We're trying a Tear Asunder in one of the flex slots. 3 Duress, I think, is good. 4 Raven Enfeeblement, I think, is excellent. It's been the best sideboard card by a lot. 2 Ether Gust has been great against, the Akron War and things of that nature. And then lastly, 2 Mystical Disputes for our blue opponents. This is the deck. This is the build of the mana base that I'm trying to see if it works. I think I'm gonna mulligan this hand. This one is keepable, but it's just missing the other half of the draw from last game or from the last hand. But we'll keep this one. Put back at the Atraxa. Lurking your specialty, nice. Tandy watching the RC this weekend. Was hoping I was gonna get on stream, but fell off too early in day 2. Parallelograms. Unfortunately, I did not. We had a really busy Sunday and a really lazy Saturday. We do only have 1 green, so we will be probably casting the Mandrills early. You told me this is a modern deck? It is not. It is Pioneer. Pioneer. Do chapter 1 first, so we can kind of control what we do with chapter 3. Basic Plains times 2. Thalia Garden of Thraben is annoying, but beatable. Alright, we did not hit a Neoform. We did hit Otherworldly Gaze. So we can play a 2-mana Thoughtseize and then a 1-mana Hooting Mandrills. It's probably pretty good. But that makes it so our Founding of Third Path doesn't do anything next turn. I feel like if we just play Mandrills, though, it's going to be not great. Alright. I don't really want to eat my whole graveyard, because I don't want my Founding to do nothing next turn. I could also just play Hooting Mandrills, right? And then next turn we 3-mana Strategic Planning. But that feels bad, too, right? I think it's just Thoughtseize plus Mandrills. Alright, so they have Brutal Cathar, Ossification. Okay, so we can just take Ossification and... Actually, maybe we shouldn't do that. So this Thalia is going to be problematic no matter what we do. If we take Ossification, we can play Hooting Mandrills. If they draw the 3rd land, they can Brutal Catharsis anyway. So maybe I actually take Luminarch Aspirant and just play Hooting Mandrills for the Thalia, because the 3rd land is needed for Ossification, Adeline, and Brutal Cathar. Alright. I think it's important to protect my life total here, and anything else I do is slightly worse. They drew the land anyway, so it doesn't really matter. We're just going to lose. We took a little bit of a gamble there. I don't think we can fight through the Thalia and all that other shit. Could have played it out, but I don't really feel the need to. Dark Void Man, thanks for the follow. Alright, so we'll cut the Summoner Niles. Cut at least 1 Founding. I think I'll bring in the Assassin's Trophies as well. Given the land is not the greatest in the world, but it's not that bad. Cut 2 Fatal Push, or 2 Thoughtseize maybe. Thoughtseize is okay, but their deck is just like extremely redundant. This is a keeper. We have a bit of interaction and then Neoform combo. We'll push whatever they play on 1 if they play anything. That way we can strategic on 2. I'll probably go ahead and play Besage as well in case they have the thing that makes my land enter tapped. Maybe I won't. Maybe I'll save it in case they play Rest in Peace. Besage is really good at stuff like that. Alright, we'll take the Botanical Sanctum since we already have 2 Neoforms. Alright, so we'll play 2-mana Tassiger and we'll hold up Ray / Besage. We don't have a blue-green, do we? We do. Okay, so we can do... Or, see, we need green-black. We don't have green-black, so maybe we should have played Overrun Tomb instead. Alright, so we'll play Tasker and hold up Besage. So this will stop from ossification. And next turn, if they go for Rudikathar, we have the answer for that as well, so that's fine. Alright. We'll kill this thing. Get the Atraxa. Instant. I think I'm gonna take Trophy. Creature, we'll take Mandrels. Land, we'll take Confluence, maybe? No, we'll just take like Darkslick Shores or something. Sorcery, it's strategic. I guess maybe we should take another Neoform in case we get broken up. Maybe instead of Trophy, we take Ray so we can play this turn. Mandrels, Neoform, Ray. The land. Alright, and now even if they have an answer like Ossification for the Atraxa, we can Besage you it. Alright, so we can wait for it to enter play. I think I'm just gonna let this happen. We can Besage you this next turn and get an extra trigger off of this. We can't blow up the plains in response, and we have to give them an extra land with Ossification. So I think I'm just fine with this. I'm just gonna Ray the Hopeful Initiate. Yeah. I'm just kind of thinking everything out loud and saying everything I think, but that doesn't always mean that what I'm saying is right or wrong. All right, so we'll just go for Beseiju on the Ossification, get our thing back. All right, we'll get another. Let's see, Tassiger, Founding, Ray, Watery Grave, Thoughtseize, something like that. We'll go Thoughtseize you. All right, 5-card hand. This one's pretty good. We'll put back Mandrels, and maybe we got to put back. I wonder if we ever put back Rave Enfeeblement. Maybe we put back Otherworldly Gaze, and we just lean on Ray to kill stuff. We can keep like 2-land Tassiger Neoform. We can turn 2 Tassiger. We can even turn 2 Tassiger plus Ray of Enfeeblement. I guess maybe we put back a land, and then we go turn 1 Gaze, turn 2 Ray plus land, but we have to hit a land off of Gaze. So we keep Mana Confluence and we bench Otherworldly Gaze. What was our other card? A Mandrels? I think hitting a land is easier. We're on the draw too, so things can change. We can look for different stuff. We can sequence differently if we just draw a couple of lands, right? Do another Neoform. Not great. Yo, Beast of Burden, thanks for the 15 months. Thanks for 15 months of pure Pioneer Gold. Appreciate you, Beast of Burden. Alright, well, if they play Thalia, we're in trouble. So I think I'm just going to go for Gaze here instead of Ray on this to save life. That way, if we draw a land, we can play Ray for 2 mana on the Thalia. Alright, we found the things that we needed. And we can't Neoform anyway, so I'm going to go ahead and just kill this now so we don't lose to Brave the Elements. It's going to allow a second one to be pretty good against me, but not a lot we can do. If they showed us Ossification game 2, but it could be out of the sideboard, and they could still just have, I guess no, Ossification was a game 1, so they're very unlikely to have Brave the Elements, so maybe that was just a mistake. We're pretty low on life already. Okay, So we can, let's see, if we just take 8, it's let's see. I think we just played Tasker and Prey, right? I think it's just play Tasker and Prey. I've been losing a lot to this deck. I'm like kind of upset about it. We did mulligan a bunch, but it is what it is. The aggressive decks that have a lot of disruption can be troublesome for us. All right, what do you keep here, chat? What if I keep Thoughtseize over Fatal Push since we're on the play, and we can keep strategic planning over the thing since we're low on resources? Grayson. Okay, okay, okay. Change it so you can look. Gotcha, gotcha. All right, so they're gonna Thoughtseize me unless I take it. Everything else is irrelevant, so we'll just take that. And hopefully we just draw one of our Delve creatures off Neoform and everything's easy. We have the Delve Bird in our YouTube video from yesterday, Gian. Alright, so the video came out today, but it was from our league on Friday. We're trying out more stock-looking Neoform now. We're trying out Otherworldly Gaze over Consider, but I think other than that, it's mostly the same. DMKHS, thanks for the follow. Alright, well, we found the hoots. We're still a little short. Maybe we got to find something instead of strategic planning, because I keep not having enough to go turn 3 combo. And then sometimes my 4th land enters tap, and I can't turn 4 combo either. Okay, so now we just discard land and hope we draw land so we can turn 4 combo. Alright, so any land lets us do it, I think. Because our basic's an island, Boseiju fine. And cast this and then this. Maybe I'll just play the Hooting Mandrills next turn. If I don't draw the land, like, let's see, they play Blood Crypt, Takenuma. So they have one card we don't know about. There's a list of strategic planning and Grizzly Salvage. I know I built them all, or most of them. Alright, cool. Alright, let's do the thing. Sorcery. Let's see. Creature's the only one. Land. They're both entering tapped. Take Darkslick Shores. Instant. You can take Gaze or Push. I'll take Push. And then we can take Strategic Planning or Thoughtseize. I'll take Planning. We'll draw 4. Take your base. Alright, don't draw anything. Whatever you do, don't draw anything annoying. I want to try a version. After this league, I'm going to do some more experimentation. But there's a build that I want to try that's heavy on Arcane Proxy. And might not even play Fatal Push. I'm not sure exactly what it's going to look like yet. But Salvage finding Arcane Proxy is pretty great because it's kind of like Salvage being able to find. Yeah, Salvage Arcane Proxy and the Neoform or the Soul Flare one seems good. All right, so let's just play Strategic Planning into Mandrills. Yeah, give me one of the 2 clans. I'd use it absolutely. My kingdom for a Thought Scour. Strategic Planning is honestly pretty okay, but for 2 mana, it's kind of a lot. There's also a chance that we don't need to play Founding anymore since we have Otherworldly Gaze. Founding was really good in the other version because it allowed us to cast Neoform a second time. But I don't know that we need the strategic plannings anymore. But they are good, you know. Alright, so we'll take Founding, I guess. And then just play this, I guess. Should have probably just took another Neoform, so I just have the ability to Neoform again. This can let me do some weird stuff with Fatal Push to kill Shieldred, though, since I can choose Chapter 3 immediately. Yeah, but if we cut strategic planning, we have to cut Founding as well, I think. But it certainly could be Gaze to consider. It could be Gaze consider Grizzly Salvage or something, and then we just play some Arcane Proxies instead of this. But Grizzly Salvage into Arcane Proxy and Founding are like pretty similar in how they operate. And but Arcane Proxy lets you play Grizzly Salvage. That's the difference. Well, Destro, the Scavenger is not really the Soul Flare costs 2 mana. Scavenger only costs 1 mana. That's the key difference. Alright, so let's attack with both. They have to block. Once they block with both, we'll push Shaman. They know about the push. This will put them to 1. I guess they can just chump with Graveyard Trespasser too. I guess we technically miss lethal. I think we could go push Founding Chapter 3, push discard. So I just miss lethal. It's fine. Yo! Young Deco with the raid, baby! Thanks for the big raid, baby. Hope you had a good stream. Yeah, actually, so Dustro, if you actually like the Scavenger version, I just posted a list where I went 4-1 in a league on Friday. You can check that out there on that link. Rakdos, I don't really sideboard against Rakdos. We don't really have anything for him. We don't really need anything for him. Could do 2 Assassin Trophy if you think they randomly have Leyline of the Void, but I haven't seen any Leylines out of them yet. We're probably getting hit with a Thoughtseize, so maybe we should just keep. Yeah, I mean, that's why it's good. So, like, once you Neoform into a Traxa, the body is so big and with lifelink that anyone attacking in a normal way is not going to be able to race it or beat it. That's why it's good. You know, Atraxa is a nice card that you can just kind of sit on. All right, so they'll probably take Otherworldly Gaze here, and then hopefully we just draw a land. We'll be okay. That's the best way I can describe it, Jimmy. I hope that's helpful. All right, great draw. Land would be fine, but this is good in the meantime. So they got Bankbuster and a bunch of shit I don't care about. If they crooks me, I'll just discard a Traxa, no big. If they ever bring it back, we'll Fatal Push it. Yeah, being able to recombo, like, sometimes getting one Atraxa is just, like, not enough to win. And when that's the case, we end up just finding the combo again off the first Atraxa. You find Neoform or Founding a bunch, and then you find another creature a bunch. Sometimes, you know, you run out of Atraxas in your deck, but it's pretty rare. I think it's a pretty good deck too, P-Mel. I'm hoping that catches on. Honestly, our Patreon is kind of blown up in the last month, and it's almost 100% because of this deck. It's been getting juiced for the last couple months ever since MTG1 came out. Yo, Jimmy, thanks for the follow. Appreciate you, my friend. Welcome. All right, we drew the land. I'll save the Founding, I guess. Maybe I'll just play Gaze or push. Isn't Pioneer powerful enough to deal with a couple of fat creatures without protection? It's not without protection. First of all, our deck is full of protection. It's full of discard spells, right? Did you ever play with or against Dimir Inverter when it was in this format? People, like, I talked a lot about Inverter and how I thought that it should have been banned for months before it was actually banned. Yo, Gianni425, thanks for the tier 1 sub. Welcome to Todd Squad. Can we get some sub rats in chat for Gian? But it's not that we have no protection. We have tons of protection, right? Now, when we play against a deck like Rakdos, they're going to break down our protection pieces quite a bit with Thoughtseize or whatever. And so sometimes that matchup can be difficult. But the instantaneous refresh on resources that Atraxa grants makes up for all of your time spent assembling it. Would you say is the best Shieldred deck? Shieldred deck? Absolutely, Rakdos midrange is the best Shieldred deck. Though I do think Rakdos is a bit weak against Neoform, and it seems like Neoform's picking up in popularity, so... But Rakdos is it. Rakdos is the stuff. Alright, so let's go Graveyard, top. We'll just go ahead and play a Mandrills. Our top card's a Neoform, so... Did I not pay green? Guess not. We know our top card's Neoform, so we can't lose to a Thoughtseize. We know they have Extinction Event, but if they just Extinction Event Booty Mandrills, that's fine. Was this Dimir Inverter? Dimir Inverter was an older deck that played Inverter of Truth to combo with Thassa's Oracle. But the card Inverter of Truth was banned about 2 years ago. Maybe 3 years ago now. I can't remember. Alright, so we're going to attack, and then we're going to get an Atraxa. We'll go ahead and Founding, so we can just use our mana. We'll do Chapter 1. Yeah, Rakdos is not a tough matchup. I don't really know how else to put it. It's just not very difficult. Their interaction, even if it was they play Powered Kill, but even if it was Go for the Throat, I still think it would be fine. So we get the land for sure, creature for sure, sorcerer will go Neoform again, and then instant will go for Stubborn Denial. I guess we could just go, let's see, if we, instead of Neoform, if we take Thoughtseize Stub, so we go Hooting Mandrills, Stub, Thoughtseize, Mana Confluence. Okay. And then we go Thoughtseize you with Stubborn Denial backup. Alright, so we just take Extinction Event, and now they have to draw exactly another Extinction Event. I'll let the Thoughtseize resolve. I'm not going to stub it. Alright, that's fine. So we'll mill ourselves for 4. We have Fatal Push active for the Shieldred, for whenever that matters. We have an easy attack for 8, and let's see, we have 4 mana, 8 cards in graveyard, so we can technically play both of these. I think I'm just going to play Tassiger. See, they know about Hoodie Mandrills, so I guess I'll play Mandrills first. 1, 2, 3, 4. And now technically we can Neoform again next turn if we want to, but I don't have to. And just go for a Thoughtseize or something. All I know is that me and Boy don't lose the Rakdos very much. I don't even sideboard for it. I talked about it a decent amount. I just never feel like I'm very far behind in any situation because their creatures don't come down on turn 1. The disruption. I mean, we won on a Moldify in game 1, right? Like, I'm gonna keep this hand. I'm gonna put back a Hoots, I guess. We'll hopefully draw some lands that tap for blue. We're on the draw. We have a Fatal Push if they're aggressive. And if we draw blue, we can go Founding Strategic Planning and get our combo rolling. Nice. So we drew. Alright, we'll just hold that Fatal Push instead of Stub. I think if they play something here, it's likely going to be Ledger Shredder or nothing. Botanical Sanctum holding up Stub is okay, but there's just like not a lot of 2-mana things I give a shit about, except Chart of Course, maybe. I mean, the way I play against is a Creativity Seeker is I try to make sure they can't combo me as much as I can interact with them and make sure that doesn't happen. But my discard spells do double duty against you because I can strip your interaction or I can strip your combo based on the situation. And so I think that just puts my deck at an advantage over the creativity deck because your interaction is reactive and my interaction is proactive. All right, well, let's try for a founding. I'm sure it's going to get countered by make disappear, and then they're going to play Fable. But if I just sit back and do nothing, I'm going to lose too. So I think I'm going to cut strategic planning and maybe founding. I think I'm going to try a new build after this because I'm just now that we have um the 1 mana thing now, the otherworldly gaze, the 2 mana stuff just feels awkward and bad, especially against counter spells. Like counter spells aren't that big of a deal against us, but like I can just call my opponent sequence. But if I don't do anything, right, I'm not. I don't have the ability to do nothing like they do. All right, I'm gonna strategic planning looking for a land. We found. Do I need a second black? I gotta. Actually, I probably do need a second black, but I kind of want a mana confluence. I'm gonna go ahead and just kill this thing. They put Xenagos in the yard. I don't have to care about getting comboed anymore. It's very strange. It's basically just a 15-15. I mean, that's still pretty good, I guess. Should have played the cooler one. All right, so if they go for a big score, I'll probably stub it. Just because it's 2 cards and 2 mana I'm countering for 1 mana. Silken's on. Okay. So now they go land creativity for 2, but again, they have the Xenagos in the yard. So maybe they'll just creativity for 1. There's like no reason for them to creativity for 2 at this point, really. Yo, B-Cock, thanks for the follow. All right, I'm going to use push to stop this one. Who stops the rain? It's a great draw. What do you think of Esper Legends and Pioneer? Someone was doing well with it the other day, but I haven't played it myself yet. I was planning on playing it, but I've been really stuck on NeoForm lately. All right, so creature, just Tassiger number 3. I'll do Watergrave because it can be untapped. Sorcery, probably near the Neoform. Instant, just Otherworldly Gaze. I'm just gonna play this tapped. My life total might matter at some point. They're dead in 2 attacks. They need land plus creativity for 1 plus spell pierce here. And then even that, I think I can race a 15-15 actually. All right, dispute in some dresses. I found that this matchup, they often side their combo out, and while Aethergust still has some targets, they're not great targets. You know, like they're likely to side out some number of big score and create like the bad creatures for creativity. And then they'll just try to go for like creativity for 1 to get Hullbreaker Horror. That's often good enough to beat us. I like to cut the fatal pushes. Some people have. We were playing it on Friday, and a lot of people were just like hooting and hollering at me to make sure I got Ether Gust into the deck. And after playing the matchup after sideboard, it didn't feel like it was that necessary. I think we're just gonna go founding and pushes out and duress dispute in. I think that's it. Keep this hand. Sub Jarvis. Deck seems cracked. Think it's the best thing to be doing in the format. I mean, it's certainly fun to play. What's up, Chauncey? Appleton, how's it going? Do you think this is better than the Soulflare version? I think they're just very similar, but they shore up each other's weaknesses. I think the Soulflare build shores up your weaknesses against creatures quite a bit. I actually think it makes your Rakdos matchup a lot better too, because you can have like a big hexproof thing. I don't think that making the Rakdos matchup better matters that much though, so I think it's like a who asked scenario, you know? No one. No one wanted you to make the Rakdos matchup better. Yeah, but this is the spot where if they start attacking our enablers, the rest of our draw here is pretty bad. Secrets of the Key. Hmm. Don't really want to buy Gigantha. I haven't bought Gigantha in a while. I'm thinking about trying to figure out a way to cut it. I was thinking maybe some Brazen Bars in the main deck would be okay. Mostly just as a thing you can hit off a Traxa that can be interactive in a different way. You know, like we find extra Delve creatures or tracks off the Atraxa ability, and like I just want, you know, like one Brazen Bar or main deck or something. I think it'd be okay. Flare version is cuter, yeah. Oh hell yeah, empty. Good luck, buddy. Hope you get the job. What are you looking for? All right, pretty normal hands. Pretty normal hand here, chat. But yeah, the strategic plannings and the foundings have both looked a lot weaker ever since we started playing Otherworldly Gaze. So we may just like completely throw those out the window for second league today and see if we can really combo it up. Like I was thinking about cutting Fatal Push, Founding, and um strategic planning and playing like just more shit that costs 1 mana. Maybe we can't cut all of it, but yeah, I'm definitely not playing Tygams. No, thank you. I mean, this is a very unorthodox draw, right? Like we kept like hooting Neoform strategic some lands, and we just drew hoot Tasigur or whatever. Not a whole lot we can do about it, to be honest. You think Arcane Proxy is any good? We were talking about it a little bit for a different build. I think it's fine, and it's really good with Grizzly Salvage as like a Grizzly Salvage as one of the enablers could be great as long as the creatures we have to hit are actually good. It makes me want to maybe pick a Takanuma or something too in the deck too. But we're just hosed here. There's like our draw was so bad. We literally had a turn 2 play get countered, and then we didn't do anything till turn 6. The fail rate of the deck. If only we had Ether Gust too. They only have 2 cards in hand. That's maybe our only saving grace here. Is that they're just kind of low on resources? Ugh. All right. Well, we're gonna Thought Seize, see what's up. They're gonna go EOT, make a thing, untap. They can hit us for 10. I think we're just dead actually. We can't play a creature here. Oh, they're just casting Hullbreaker Horror. Okay, it doesn't matter. You win. I will keep this one for sure. A lot of disruption. I'm gonna lead off with Duress over Thoughtseize. We may want to take a creature, but we don't need to take one early. I don't care about Ether Gust too much. We can maybe go Dispute on the Impulse and Stub on everything else. I'm gonna take Ether Gust. It is like one of their only ways to interact with my combo, and the other stuff that they have kind of runs into my other interactions. So while we can, I'm just gonna go ahead and resolve planning. We'll take the lands. We drew another Atraxa. That means there's only one left in the deck for Neoform. It's not great. Negate here. I'm gonna go dispute this. And then, so they have 2 impulses and the big score. Maybe we just take Fable. Alright, so we know they have River Glide, Impulse, Impulse, big score. Stream Decker bot, why are you dumb? I guess it's right now. Never mind, I'm dumb. I am the dumb one. So they can. I'm just gonna go for it, right? Maybe we wait a turn, but I think that's pretty bad. I guess they can impulse into exactly Spell Pierce, or I guess impulse into Mystical Dispute. So maybe I just go Tassiger and chill. The fact that we still have a land drop makes me want to wait. Yeah, I kind of want to play Tasker and wait. Just because our Summoner Nile is not useful here in this juncture. Hmm. I'm just going to go for it, actually. I think if we go for it this turn, we get to keep the stub. I'm just going to go for it. You know, we hit them with a discard spell. They have to impulse into 1-mana counter. We put them in the squeeze, but if they find it, they find it. So we know they have big score, impulse, and a random. And then whatever they find off impulse. Alright, nice. Alright, so if we hit a land for stub, that'd be nice. Just Overgrown Tomb. Okay, that's unfortunate. We do have a land to play. Creature. I guess we can go Overgrown Tomb, Thoughtseize. And then for instant, we just keep Otherworldly Gaze. Maybe Mystical Dispute's better, though, for next turn. Alright, done. Alright. I don't care about Big Score that much. I do care about Shark Typhoon a little bit. It's not really Prey. I mean, it's a little bit of Prey, right? But we set it up so, like, they had to hit. And they didn't. And that's great news for us. But now they can go for Ether Gust. If they hit it, big score into Ether Gust is pretty good. Well, Adam, I think that's pretty low chance of that being better than... I mean, I have Founding in my deck, right? And I'd rather... I guess I should have exiled the Neoform and kept, like, Thoughtseize plus Strategic Planning or something, but... Alright, so now we have Stub, Disputes, Tassiger. So let's just go 2-mana Tassiger. Hold up Stub, Disputes. Okay, so this might mean they have Hullbreaker. There's nothing we can do about it, really. They play that land very fast. If they're going for a counterspell or something here, I'm gonna stub this. I think I don't want them to find Hullbreaker Horror. I should have played my land first, though. I was not expecting them to go for like a counterspell fight over Impulse or over Strategic Planning. But at least they didn't have the 7-drop. Hullbreaker Horror was easily a way for me to lose this game. Guess I'll take Founding. Okay, so now we just attack for 12, and they've already done a Sokanzon, so it has to be another Shark Typhoon. Okay. Alright, so now they can't cast Hullbreaker Horror. I'll hold up Mystical Dispute, but there's a chance we should have played Founding. Nice. Alright, man. Every hand I've had just looks like absolute shit. Pretty disappointing. Alright, so blue-black. Make Disappear is probably the most annoying late game. We have a push for the Shark Typhoon token. Shieldred's Edict's a little annoying too, but it doesn't keep me from drawing 5 cards, so we'll just take the Make Disappear for now. I know, Draken. It's like they're trying to make me lose. They don't want my deck popping off. If they let Tandy pop off, they know what happens. What's up, Simic? How's it going, buddy? Brickmaster, I think aggro decks that are a little disruptive are probably the hardest. First time buying Gigantha League. We drew our basic, so field is now pretty bad for us. This is kind of why I like having 2 basics in the deck. Whenever you play against a field ruin deck, if they blow up your basic, it's just like pretty tilting. It's been really fun to build, Miguel, and work on it. You know, there's been a couple people in the community that added their touch on it or whatever. You know, someone did Soul Flare stuff. Someone did, oh my god, dude. Second Field of Ruin, worst day of my life. I guess we got to keep. I don't know, man. See, these are the types of hands that I'm not sure about because you know we might need way more disruption for what they have going on. But we have the combo and we have a discard spell. Is it It's like one of the best 6-card hands you can ask for. Censor or Shark Typhoon. I guess we'll take the Shark Typhoon. All right. Hopefully we draw like Founding or something next turn. Being able to play a second basic is so big. Another land, probably fine against the Field of Ruin draw, but honestly would have loved to have drawn something to cast, you know? It makes me want to play a Fourth Duress too, you know? Like Stubborn Denial in this spot's like not that good. Well. Yeah, I mean, if this was Duress, this would feel so much better, right? In this spot. Like, obviously, when you're resolving Atraxa, the Stubborn Denial is just so big, but I'm gonna wait. Them putting a card in my graveyard here is actually good for me, I think, because we do have the island. But a second Field of Ruin would be bad. The swamp, castle, field. So they have island sensor and some unknowns. Maybe I should play Gigantha. The fail rate of this deck, not for the faint of heart. Yeah, no shit, Ollie. My deck just failed to do anything for 3 games or 2 games straight. While my control opponent did nothing. Great. Alright, let's play Gigantha. I'm assuming it's going to get censored, but we got to just fill our graveyard. I don't want to just like move to discard. We'll force them to use one of their interaction pieces. The turn 28 censor, I guess, good enough. Need an excuse. Alright, so they thought sees me, they take the Tassiger. 5 cards in hand, no idea what they are. Let's see if we can get Mandrills down, and then we have 2 pieces of Disruption if it sticks. If it doesn't, we're probably screwed. Alright, so now we got 2 stubs. We also have, if they Field to Ruin us, we have a Mystical Dispute as well. Yeah, this is honestly why I took Shark Typhoon early, because it's a good pressure point for them to interact, and it dodges all of my Summon Denials. But this is also another reason why I think Summon Denial should just be Duress in the main deck. And then maybe we just go 4 Duress, 4th Duress in the sideboard or something. I don't know. Do another Traxa. Probably not great. And now Stub can't protect the Neoform, right? But if these were Duresses, we could maybe force through combo here. So it's just something to keep in mind. Like, these are obviously good in some spots and bad in some spots, but they've been feeling worse lately. Another relatively weak opener. I've had a lot of 4, 5, 6 landers. A lot of Atraxas in the opener. A lot of mulligans. Maybe should have mulliganed this one too. But we're on the play with strategic planning. Maybe we'll draw Founding. Founding will look okay. Alright. Spikefield Cave. Alright. Should be an easy matchup. As long as we don't draw like complete dog shit. Alright, we'll take the Tassiger. We can play Tasker next turn, and hopefully they don't have the 2-mana counterspell. I don't think I can afford to just wait around. I did, Seeker, I did. They tagged me on Twitter. It was really nice. Really nice to see. Honestly, that's what got me thinking about the deck. Alright, do I play Tassiger? I think I just play Tassiger. If they go counterspell into Fable, that's like worst case. But if it resolves, then they basically can't play Fable without dying. And if they do play Fable, that's great. It's like pretty hard for him to kill a 5 toughness creature. It definitely takes 2 removal spells. Okay, so it's Phoenix, so they're just dead. Alright, so they took Consider Impulse. Okay. I don't think that my draw is particularly good this game, and neither is my opponent's. Ross had just copied me. I think Ross made one small change, but we don't talk about it. Alright, so green, blue, Neoform, Traxa. But this is obviously the spot where Summer now is crazy. Alright, creature-wise, we have either Hoots or... We already have a Neoform. Let's see, instant, we can just do Otherworldly, or we can do Fatal Push, Neoform, I guess Tassiger, Blooming Marsh. I don't know if I need another Neoform, but maybe I do. It's gonna discard, I guess, a Blooming Marsh. Alright, Consider is okay. I could stub it, but I'd rather wait. We will Stubborn Denial a Lightning Axe. Lightning Axe represents a lot of damage on our Traxa. If this is just Cruise, I'll probably go for a stub on it, but I could just let it resolve. My guess is I'm going to get Spell Pierce, but they've already played a land, so they can't kill a Traxa if they Spell Pierce. Their Fire Impulse is also currently turned off, but I guess they could go Axe Impulse and then it's dead. But then I'll just go Tassiger Neoform again. I think that's fine. And I've stopped their Cruise. Oh, that sounds fun, Seeker. Aaron Kaiba coming in with the 11 months. Appreciate you. All right, so here comes Axe Discard and then Fire Impulse, but that's fine. We just Neoform again next turn. They have 3 cards left in hand. We don't know any of them. All right, so this will be the last time we need a Neoform. So we'll go Visageo's the land. Mandrills is the creature. Gaze planning. And then we can't play Mandrills this turn unless we go... I guess we don't have protection anyway, so maybe we should just go Gaze plus Mandrills. We can put up to 2 in the graveyard, and then Mandrills off of the Overgrown Tomb. Alright, we'll go Gaze, Gaze. We'll go Hoots in the graveyard too. We'll leave one of the Otherworldly Gazes there. Alright, Mandrills. Thanks, Parallel Grunts, for throwing up the subrats. Everyone else is failing me. By the way, Tandy may be showing off Turbo Traxa at RC, but still has testing to do. It's kind of sick, though. I play Legends, actually, since Gix is a legend that for 3 mana reads pay 3 and return a card from the grave. Legendary aspect is sick and discarding is plentiful. Yeah, I really like all the Legends. The Esper Legends deck looks great. I saw Brad played a little bit in the Mana Traders on Saturday. It looked cool. Alright, so we want the Mystical Disputes and the Duresses. And the Fatal Pushes are probably necessary, honestly, in some capacity because of Thing in the Ice. I'm curious how hard I'm supposed to cut Fatal Push. I think I'm going to cut 2. I think I'll go minus Stubs and minus the push. It's like kind of hard to hold Stub up against them. Maybe that's bad, though. Maybe we should just be trimming like Founding and Strategic Planning or something. Just because, I don't know. The pushes all can maybe go, and then we'll just lose the Thing in the Ice. But are we even that worried about Thing in the Ice, honestly? I can bounce a Traxa, but they might not even bring it in. I think they're gonna, though, so I'm gonna leave in 2 push just in case. I want to have a couple answers. But they're pretty good at keeping my 5 toughness creatures off the table with Lightning Axe, so I don't know how good Stubborn Now is going to be. Alright, this hand looks pretty good. We'll keep. I think missing Considers has felt like a pretty big deal. I just need more stuff to do for 1 mana. It makes me want to trim on the black-green Fastland, though, so our mana base is going to change if we end up doing that too. But that's okay. I think I'm just going to try to build like more builds that just don't have Hooting Mandrills and Summon Denial. Mostly, I think Summon Denial is great, don't get me wrong, but the more I play the deck, the more I despise the green cost on Hooting Mandrills, and I despise it when Stub isn't turned on. Like, it's so bad not turned on, you know? What's the song? The song is called Seize the Power by Yonaka. I think it was on a fucking commercial or something. I don't remember where I first saw it. I first heard it. I'm gonna say go. I'm gonna go for Otherworldly Gaze into turn 2 Tassiger or Hooting Mandrills. It might sound a little weird. Well, now I kind of want to... Alright, 1 to the bottom. Now I'm gonna dress them. I did want to Otherworldly Gaze instead, but we'll just do this now. So they have Mystical Disputes, Ledger Shredder, Throw Possibility. So they're just going to play... They can't play Ledger Shredder next turn, probably. So we just take the thing that gives them card advantage later. Yeah, we already worked on the build a little bit last week. I have a YouTube video up on it right now if you want to go check it out. Came out today. I just want to work on it some more. And I want to try to build this not playing the 2-mana stuff. The 2-mana stuff is easily the weakest part of the deck. Alright, so let's go Otherworldly Gaze. If they want to counter this, I think I'm fine with that. And then do we play Hoots or Tassiger? Santiago, thanks for the follow. All right, now we have a leverage point. The Tasker is going to be pretty good here. I don't really care about the Founding getting countered, and I kind of want to burn their Mystical Dispute from their hand. My guess is they're going to cast Thrill of Possibility. I'm going to pretend like I have a Summon Denial. Oh, they're going for the Thrill of Possibility first. Okay, smart. They discarded Hall. Well, I want to try out a version that has Grizzly Salvages too, as well, Mido. It's not just that one thing, it's both, right? I think Proxy plus Grizzly Salvage is a really neat addition to the deck. And so I'm personally curious about that build. Also, Thrill Possibility over Charter Course has to just be some Gigabrain shit that's not good. All right, well, we have the Boseiju for the All the Storm Giants for later. I'm probably going to duress and buy Gigantha this turn. I can't play Hooting Mandrills, unfortunately. It's an easy attack, though, an easy duress. Slowest player in North America. Spell Pierce, Ledger, Odawara. Okay. Now we can start activating Tasker if we want to. They drew Steam Vents, so they can just play Shredder. Perfect. Couple 1/3s, never hurt nobody. Alright, I guess we'll go ahead and play the Boseiju and the Gigantha. And then they'll be forced to use Odawara next turn. Maybe I should just play Hooting Mandrills and hold on to the Boseiju for the Hall. Because they... 2, 3, 4... I guess they're 2 away from it, so maybe it's not that big a deal. If I end up losing because of it, I'm going to be a little sad. And we easily could, right? Attacking with both. Okay, so that means that they're 100% to bounce this, and we'll just recast it? Probably. Cool. So we know there's no reason to play the Thoughtseize. Alright, bounce Tasker is fine. We'll just go ahead and play it. We can play Hoots next turn. Alright, last card in hand. If they drew Treasure Cruise, I'm gonna be sad. 1, 2... Okay, so they have a removal spell of some kind. Because they're gonna go Chump Block 1 and kill the other. And then we'll just play Mandrills. We'll attack first. We might activate Tassiger here, depending on what they do. Oh, never mind. They thought they had enough to animate the land and didn't. Our first loss of the league was to White Weenie, right? White Weenie, I think, traditionally, not the best matchup. I think aggressive decks in general, especially with disruption, knowledge of the matchup, things like that, can be very tough. Sideboard cards are traditionally very good against decks like ours. You know, we haven't played against it yet, but something like Grafdigger's Cage could be really annoying. Rest in Peace, Leyline of the Void, anything that statically removes the entire graveyard is very strong against us. So, big recommendation on those of just giving up on them. You know, they're just going to beat us. Um, and we have some ways to fight against them. You know, we have Assassin's Trove, we have Tear Sunder. But the more that I play with these cards, the more I feel like they're not really solving the problem. I think that what we're really going to find is that once people start respecting the deck, respecting the matchup, we're going to see a lot more hate cards in the sideboard for decks like ours. And when that happens, I think our deck will become unplayable. And but we haven't reached that point yet. But we're slowly on a trajectory like northward, where at some point we're just going to hit a brick wall, and the deck won't be viable until people stop playing all those hate cards. Very similar to if you played Dredge or Wither against Dredge in Modern back in the day. You know, there were some formats and some tournaments where Dredge was the perfect contender because people cut down to like, you know, 2 Relic of Progenitus or whatever in their sideboard. And then the Dredge players ran rampant on the tournament. That it was like a nice ebb and flow in that format. And I think Neoform could end up being the same way. The more people are prepared for this deck, the worse it is, and vice versa. This build did not feel particularly good or bad. I did have a lot of openers that I had to mulligan that were kind of lackluster. So we're going to be doing some more experimentation in the future to see. The mana base here is a bit different. You know, we're heavy on the tri lands. I didn't feel like they screwed me that much, and I'm not sure that I want a bunch of shock lands in their place. I like this build, but my goal in the future is to basically figure out a build that doesn't play Hooting Mandrills and Stub, and instead plays Sultai Scavenger, and just like maybe a bunch of dresses in that slot. And in that build, we'll probably be finding a way to cut these from the deck as well. That's my goal. That's where I'm going to be looking for over the next couple weeks as we do some more experimentation on the deck. But that's going to do it for this video. Make sure to hit the like and subscribe button on your way out. I'm Tandy. I stream weekdays, twitch.tv/Tandy. Make sure to check me out. See y'all next time.